Namaste and welcome to Let's Talk Homeopathy, your peaceful corner of the world where healing meets wisdom. I am Dr. Soumya Singh, and each week we dive into the art and science of homeopathy. One remedy, one case, one conversation at a time. So grab your cup of tea and let's begin the journey together. Today, we will explore three rubrics that are often intertwined, yet subtly distinct: forsaken feeling, loneliness, and alone. These words seem simple, but in a patient's life, they can carry an entirely different meaning. And as homeopaths, our task is to listen deeply, to gently guide, and to find the precise word that holds the patient's core suffering. Let's take up forsaken feeling first. Forsaken feeling is not just about being without company. It is the soul deep experience of being unwanted, a castaway, or forgotten. Patients often carry this after abandonment, betrayal, or early childhood neglect. It is existential, not situational. When a patient says he or she felt left, we need to assess: it is that they are missing company or that they feel thrown away as if they didn't matter. If that feeling had a picture, what would it look like? When did they first begin to feel this way? Let's take up a demo scenario. A patient comes and she sits across from me, hands clenched tightly in her lap. She is in her early 40s, but her face looks older, lined with sleeplessness. Her words come slowly, almost like confessions. I say, "You mentioned the breakup still haunts you. What does it feel like inside?" She replied, "Like I was discarded. 10 years of my life, and suddenly I was nothing." Discarded. When you say that, what picture comes to your mind? Like I'm standing in a dark alley, everyone else is just walking past as if I never existed? That that isn't just grief. That is the feeling of being forsaken. Let's take up loneliness. Loneliness arises when a person longs for connection but feels it missing. Unlike forsakenness, it is not necessarily about rejection or being discarded, but about the ache of emptiness in a relationship. Loneliness is about yearning. We as homeopaths need to sift through. Do they feel alone because no one is around, or because they long for closeness that isn't coming? Is it more about physical absence or emotional absence? What do they miss most in these moments? Let's take up another scenario. He is an elderly man. His gaze drifts toward the floor as if words are buried there. I ask, "You said evenings are hardest. What do you feel then?" He replies, "I sit in the house, quiet. I wish someone would just sit with me, talk to me, but nobody does. That silence is unbearable." I gently ask, "What does that feel like inside?" He replied, "It's like an ache. Not that I'm forgotten, just that I miss closeness. The emptiness, that emptiness hurts." That, ladies and gentlemen, is the essence of loneliness. Not being unwanted, but missing the closeness you long for. Let's take up our last rubric: alone. This rubric is more nuanced. A patient may be surrounded by people, yet feel profoundly alone. It can reflect isolation, alienation, or the sense that nobody understands me. Unlike loneliness, it is not about craving company, but about an inner separation. When they say they feel alone, do they mean physically without people, or that even with people around they feel isolated? Do they feel unseen or simply by themselves? What is the hardest part of that aloneness? Let's take up the demo scenario. A young professional, neatly dressed, speaks with half a smile that hides a heaviness. I ask, "How is life at home with your family?" He replies, "They're around. We eat together, laugh together. But I still feel utterly alone." Hmm, I say, "Alone?" He replied, "Yes. Even surrounded, I feel nobody sees me, nobody understands me." I was like, "What is it like to feel unseen?" He replied, "It's like being invisible, like I am in the middle of a crowd and still completely by myself." So this was alone, forsaken, loneliness, alone. Three words, three experiences. Notice how the same root, that is separation, takes three different shapes. Forsaken carries the wound of being cast away, the agony of being thrown away, of losing one's worth. Loneliness holds the ache of longing for a connection that isn't there. Alone is the inner isolation, even in company. As homeopaths, our task is not to impose these words on patients, but to listen so deeply that their own words guide us to the exact rubric. And often, that single, precise rubric is the map to the remedy that can heal not only the body, but the wounded heart within. This was Let's Talk Homeopathy. If today's episode touched you, share it with a colleague or student because learning rubrics through lived human experience makes our practice deeper and more human. Until next time, keep listening, keep observing, and keep talking homeopathy.